This is Lon Winters with Graphic Elephants.
This is Jimmy Lamp.
This is Matt Vassallo with the RhinestoneWorld.com.
And you're listening to the Two Regular Guys podcast.
And you are listening to the Two Regular Guys podcast.
Hosted by...
My name is Terry Combs, RG, regular guy.
And Aaron Montgomery.
We're just regular guys having fun and trying to make a living in this really cool and exciting industry.
I think we all want to succeed 100% of the time.
Seek to understand before I try and make myself understood.
Bring a ton of great information.
Coming to you live from somewhere dark, dirty, and dank.
All right. Well, welcome into the show. It is Friday, July 15th, 2022. I'm Terry Combs, and you can find me at terrycombs.com.
And I'm Aaron Montgomery, and you can find me over at oursuccessgroup.com. Today, Gloria Lafont with Action Marketing is going to be joining us to talk SEO, website traffic, and really anything else digital marketing. She is a digital marketing superstar. So we're really excited to talk to Gloria here and Action Marketing. I love that business name, Terry. So
I do too.
It's going to be a great day today, Terry. Now, I will real quick before just kind of apologize in advance. As you can see, we've already started off with I hit the wrong start button, and then we got to the intro after that. So, hey, we were just giving people extra time to get here. Eric is unavailable this morning, and so I will be pushing buttons at the same time. So wish me luck today.
but Eric was messaging away right up till showtime.
Absolutely.
So.
Yep, definitely. So appreciate Eric and all his support. And so there won't be as many cool banners and things today, but we will certainly have an awesome show after anyhow. So all right, well, let's start off with some news items. Does that sound good, Terry?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right. Well, we've got a couple things here. So why don't I start with this one? So screen printing consultant Charlie Tableeb helps shop create scented t-shirts is the headline. Enid, Oklahoma-based Downtown Threads recently welcomed screen print consultant Charlie Tableeb of Tableeb Consulting into its space for some learning and improvements. And by the way, Brandy, the owner over at Downtown Threads, will be one of our featured guests next week on the podcast. So anyhow, that's why I was like, oh, this is cool. So to illustrate the unique capabilities in screen printing, Charlie printed scented shirts before he visited Downtown Threads, and he saw a Facebook post from Brandy about barbecue shirts. So he wanted to help to take that print to the next level. And he said, I called up a company I work with and asked them to send me some barbecue scent. He tells the news outlet. I dug through my artwork, pulled out a pig, added Enid, Oklahoma barbecue to it, and we added the scent into the ink. The scent infused the ink and sticks around for about 15 washes. So Charlie and Brandy opted to add studs and foil atop the print and created an ultimate barbecue t-shirt. So
that's awesome.
We'll put some links into the show notes there about going and read more about that and seeing what they completed. So pretty cool stuff there, Terry.
You know, Charlie, well, first of all, Kim's from Enid, Oklahoma as well. But Charlie has that name that it's like there's something about Mary, Brett Favre.
It took me a long time to get it right. I'll tell you that.
People go, Charlie, and you just wait for them to say it. And they just, you know, the guy.
Charlie T. The guy with the really loud shirts and awesome helping in the industry. All right. So, yeah, Todd says that makes me hungry. All right.
Well, when I lived in Kansas City, all my clothes smell like barbecue. So
yeah, you didn't have to print that in. All right. Another quick news item for me, Terry, and then I know you've got something as well here. So Equipment Zone, I think you know them, Terry, pretty intimately, right? Terry works with Equipment Zone, but I saw this announcement. I thought it was really cool, so I wanted to share it. They've got a new in-person training event called DTF and DTG Summer Camp, actually the other way around, DTG and DTF Summer Camp. And it's going to be held in person on July 28th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time in Franklin Lakes, New Jersey. Terry, that's just outside of New York City, right?
30 minutes from the George Washington Bridge in
New
York City. Yeah.
There you go. Okay. So according to the company, the new event is designed to be both a classroom and hands-on learning experience for new business owners. The camp will be hosted by industry experts, one Mr. Terry Combs. Amy, and I'm not going to get her last name right. Can you help me with
Krulowitz.
that? Krulowitz, thank you very much. And Jay Bissell. So, and Mr. Jay Bissell. And so going to be great. The three of you guys, that is going to be excellent. The attendees will learn the difference between DTG and DTF, how one machine can create both, an overview of the software to prepare the designs, why DTF is so popular and why it makes sense, and then how to print and apply DTF transfers. So the camp costs $149 for the first attendee and $99 for each additional attendee from the same company. The event is limited to only 18 students, so you get a great hands-on one-on-one experience, and you can sign up at equipmentzone.com. And while you're talking, Terry, I will try to get that actually into a banner. How about that?
So I'm going next week on Wednesday to New Jersey for the Graphics Pro Expo in the Meadowlands / Secaucus, and I'm going to hang around for a few days and then do the DTG DTF summer camp, and it's going to be camp themed, so we're pretty excited about it.
That's awesome. All right, cool.
Thanks to our marketing director, Jay Bissell. He's always thinking up things like that. But speaking of events, the Decorated Apparel Expo, the DAC show, is gearing up for the 2023 show season with their full pre-COVID slate of locations. And Aaron, I don't know if you could tell, but just the tone of the email from Scott was total excitement, and oh my gosh, we're finally back.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
The locations next year will be Kansas City, February 24th and 25th, Minnesota, March 31st and April 1st, and then Chicagoland down in Tinley Park will be April 14th and 15th. And Scott and Margie Ritter are looking forward to booking old and new exhibitors and old and new speakers as well. And so I know that Scott is right now giving us the heads up that I'm going to be looking for your seminar ideas soon. So if anybody's interested in doing that, go to daxshow.com.
Absolutely. And they are already taking booth space, so you can apply to sign up for booth space. And there's a pretty significant discount if you get your booth space reserved before the end of this month. I think August 1st is the first early bird deadline, and it'll save you some money. And also going to all three events will also save you some money. I think from a value perspective, DAX brings a lot of value. So take a look.
And I think you can tell, all the listeners out there can tell over the years that Aaron and I and Eric and all the speakers we know love the DAX show. So it's just a great event, and those Scott and Margie do such a good job with it. So we're excited to get back to all three events next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be great. All right. Well, let's check in with the regulators here real quick, Terry, and then we'll get to the dad joke, and then we'll get to what we actually are here for, Gloria. But here we go. So good morning, Chuck. Thank you for tuning in. And then Kristen says, happy sunny Friday. Excellent. Sun's out. Terry, that's pretty much the world you live in, is sunny.
It is, but you know what? It rained a little bit last night, so I was out by the pool in the rain. It's like Christmas snow here.
Rain in the summertime in Arizona, in Phoenix. That is like Christmas.
It's
snow.
a rarity. Yeah.
Yeah. Chuck says, today is a busy day for you, Aaron. Yes, it is. I've got this and then the half, and then my growing your business effortlessly workshop that I'm very excited about. So looking forward to that. Josta, hello from Sweden. And thank you. All right. So let's see here. Kristen says, I love DAX. I've gone every year since 2010. All right.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah. And then Sea of Christ Mobile. I'm not sure who that is, but appreciate you jumping in and tuning in. Happy Friday to you. And hello, Curtis. All right, cool. Terry, is it dad joke time?
It is dad joke time, and we have a guest dad joke today.
Yes, we do. Josta, who is actually in the comments here today, brought us this dad joke again. Won't have the awesome banners like Eric always has ready for us, so you're just going to have to listen in, right?
Plus, you won't get the explanation from Eric about, okay, if you didn't understand it, here's what it means.
That's right. Yeah, maybe Gloria can shake her head if she, or something. Right. All right, so inside joke, Gloria. Sorry. Okay, so here we go. You can't blame anyone else if you fall in your driveway.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, that's your own asphalt.
That's awesome, Eusta.
Thank you. So yeah, that came across the messenger, and because of the time zone difference, I a lot of times get those either early in the morning or late at night, and yeah, that one made me laugh out loud.
All right. Hey, Aaron, before we go any further, we want to thank everyone for checking out the Two Regular Guys podcast. We are always looking for new guests. So if you or anyone you know would like to join us, go to calendly.com/2 regular guys with your show ideas. And if you are listening to the podcast version of the show, we would appreciate you sharing the Two Regular Guys with all of your industry friends so they can become regulators too. And we would appreciate you giving us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Amazon Podcasts. We are everywhere, and we would love for you guys to give us a review, hopefully a positive one. If you're watching us live right now and you have some questions for Gloria, please join in with your questions and your comments.
Absolutely. And all reviews are good, Terry. Feedback is feedback. So no, we really appreciate you guys tuning in, and definitely on those podcast players, we could really use that help of the reviews. So please head on over there. So today, Terry, is my workshop. So we're just going to dive right in to getting to Gloria here.
Okay.
No ads for you today. I will say this: we are always open to new sponsorships here at the Two Regular Guys. I was looking for the banner, but I'm not finding it. But we can just go to tworegularguys.com. If you go there, you'll see sponsorship up there, and you can find out all the details. And so we do have open slots available if you would like to support this show and have your message heard to the industry's oldest and most listened to industry podcast. So
exactly right. In
absolutely.
our 10th year.
10th year. I think this is 459, if I remember right. So
wow.
Yep. It's been fun. We've got another couple hundred left to go at least, right?
10 years ago, having the conversation of, but what would we talk about?
And what is a podcast? Absolutely. All right. Well, Terry, would you actually do me a favor and bring Gloria in, just read her intro there? And
yeah,
then,
absolutely. Gloria Lafont is a mother, grandmother, and business owner. And throughout her business career, she has started, bought, and sold a dozen businesses. She currently runs Action Marketing Company, an SEO and marketing agency that she founded in 2007. Her company focuses on helping promo distributors build a premium positioning for their brand so they can generate awareness, drive website traffic, and generate leads and sales. Gloria is a big fan and supporter of education and cultural arts, volunteering her time and donating marketing support over the years to help various organizations grow its membership and revenue. She enjoys the South Florida mix of beaches and art lifestyle, coaching business owners, and speaking engagements on topics of marketing and branding, as well as women's empowerment. Gloria, welcome into the show.
Welcome, Gloria.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
All right. Well, we are very excited. We are all about education here as well. And I was talking to Jay Bassell this morning and he was asking who the guest was today, and he was very excited that you were going to be on the show today.
Awesome.
All right, Gloria.
Good.
You've obviously worn many hats professionally. Tell us a little about your background and what led you to where you are here today.
Well, to summarize that, I learned marketing back in the days of direct marketing when I married a guy who was servicing the direct mail industry. This is before the internet, and he owned a data processing company where he merged lists and produced labels. And that became eventually we had our own mailing house, and we had a handful of clients. And I was so fascinated with that business and the ability to target an audience and to give them a message about something that they would be interested in. And the response, I'm measuring even though the measure part now has gotten way more granular, they had certain parameters that they would measure. So I was just fascinated with the whole process. And that's what direct response marketing is. So I started to study that, and I read books by everybody that had. I remember, I can't remember the name now. The name escapes my head right now. But all of the old guys that started writing about that, and they had those long letters that had pages and pages. So eventually, that business totally it went under because the direct marketing ended. They passed a law where people and businesses could no longer advertise using that method. So all of our clients had to stop advertising in that way. And overnight, we had to shut the business down. So that was truly the most devastating thing that I have experienced. And the hardest time in my life came after that. That ended my marriage. I ended up having to put food on the table with 2 little kids. And it was very difficult, but it's over and everything passes. So that's why I'm so passionate about helping businesses transform, because one of the things that happened that I realized, that the lesson that I learned is that you have to pay attention to what's happening around you. Back then, it wasn't like today that when a law is going to be passed, it's in your face all day long. Yeah. Before, you knew because you were in the industry, but I just didn't want to pay attention to that. My life was great. We had a great business. We had, 10, 12 employees. We were making money. So I wasn't going to worry about that. And that was my own perspective on it. And obviously, this is where that took me. Total catastrophe. So I love helping businesses transform their businesses into the digital age and go into an evolution mode, think that they have to evolve with the times. And it's difficult when you are inside to look at it that way. But eventually, I started my company. That it was a marketing company here in Florida in 2007. And it was focused, I was planning to focus on promotional products. So at that time, I was looking to promote my business. So I went networking and more networking and met lots of people. But I also looked to advertise. I had always used the newspaper with great success. But at that point, newspaper circulation was declining and it was very expensive. And I didn't think it was going to be a good return. Yeah. So I started to experiment online, and I started to read I could read about it, and HubSpot was one of the companies that I followed to learn, and they all were talking about publishing articles. So I started publishing articles. Now it's called content. And I started publishing, and I came across a guy, Mark Sheridan. He talked about how writing content is how you get clients and how to do it. And it's all about answering questions that your target audience was. So I kind of merged the concept of direct response with the new vehicle, because direct response is just matching your audience to your message so that the message talks to the audience, and then using the medium that you wanted to use to try and get to the two connected. So now the new medium is online. That's where people spend their time. And that, of course, has been increasing. So eventually, or it didn't take very long for me to start getting leads from that found me online. Big companies that are in town that they didn't go networking, they didn't belong to any chamber. I would have never known they existed. So it was really interesting that they were finding me, very exciting. I had to have a girl answer the phone, actually, because I was getting enough calls. So it was very exciting. And I started helping other local clients that didn't need promotional products promote themselves online and have websites and do what they needed to do. So at one point, I had to make a choice into continuing with the promotional product clients or going with an agency model, direct marketing, and focusing on one area, which is the business to business and the merchandise area, because I couldn't do the two. Yeah. It was too much. I was going through changes in my life as well and having some issues with my family. So I decided to sell the book of business on the promotional products side. Okay. And because I had it in a way that it didn't need me to run, I was able to sell it. It was totally transparent to the clients.
Yeah.
So that's what has led me here. So now I focus on promotional product distributors that have very hard time branding themselves, and they're kind of behind. And it's not just distributors. Many businesses have the same issue. They are really good at their craft, but they don't really know how to communicate to their target audience so that they can make that connection.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Gloria, you just said the word branding, and that leads me perfectly into what I wanted to ask you next here is, we've had guests on, including who Terry mentioned earlier, Jay Bassell, who I believe you know, and talking about branding and what it meant to them. And so I'd love to get your take and what your view is of what is branding.
Branding, in a short phrase, is the art of differentiation. That is all that branding is. It's being recognized in the marketplace. It's standing out from the rest. That is what branding is. And to achieve that is not as simple. It's complicated. It has a lot of aspects to it. It's a foundational thing in a business. It's a very important part in a business. It wasn't so important back 20 years ago when many distributors and screen printers started their business, maybe 15, 20 years ago, that it wasn't as important. But right now, it is critical. You have to differentiate your business. People have to know who you are. If you look like everybody else, the only differentiator is price. And you can't afford that. So you cannot complain when somebody asks you, can you match this price? Can you do that cheaper? Because that's the way you're presenting yourself, whether you know it or not. This is what they find about you when they go research. People that get introduced or referred, they're going to go online and check you out. They're going to find out how you think. They want to know what you're all about, because anybody can sell you a product, but they like to make a connection with the vendor they're going to use. They want to work with specialists. They want to work with people that are experts. So that's what's missing. I think that's the important part of branding, is to be able to communicate that.
Nice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, so we talk about driving traffic to our internet locations, like our websites, Facebook pages, or other sites. And that's the goal for most businesses. What are people doing wrong and doing right when it comes to driving traffic?
Driving traffic is critical because your place of business in today's marketplace is your website, number one. And when people need something, they go online. They go online searching, and whoever comes up in the top 3 or 4, that's the person they're going to investigate. They're going to click and they're going to find out who they are, and hopefully they will call you if the website does the sales job in the right way. So it's important to drive traffic to your website, because your website is your business place. It's your office, it's your showroom, is your place.
Yeah.
And you want people to come to your office, to your business. So this is why it's so important. Now with social media, this is where people can find you, and you can create awareness of your business, and you want to get followers, and how you get people to find out about you, because not everybody that is in your target audience is ready to buy right now, right? So you want to be in front of them. So when they are ready, you come up, you come to mind, and they have enough interest. You've developed trust for them to come. So traffic, I think, going back to traffic, that's really what we do and what we focus on in my business, because it's all about getting traffic. It's all about capturing those buyers that are searching online who are ready to buy. Because nobody goes online to searches on things that are promotional product related or merchandise related that are not ready to buy just for fun. Let me just for fun check out promotional products or printed t-shirts. Nobody does that. They do it because they have an assignment. They have to get quotes, they have an event, and those people are ready to buy. And I experienced that. People that contact me because they found me online were placing orders, were ready to buy. So that is you're missing out if you don't have any traffic on your website. That's kind of the bottom line for me.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And regulators, as you're listening in here, I'm already like just picking out tons of gold nuggets here, and Gloria's just getting started. You know, the art of differentiation as what branding is. That was like, oh my gosh, that's a light bulb moment right there. And then
I wrote that down as well.
yeah, and then when you were talking about, you know, that the goal is awareness. I think that is also sometimes missed when people are trying to communicate online and through social and stuff like that. So,
well, you know, and I've had people say to me, you know, they just have the website there, but other people say, well, it's just about the social media. It doesn't matter about the website. They go hand in hand, wouldn't you say?
Well, your website is a foundational piece in your marketing, because again, your website is your place of business. Imagine you have a store, you have a showroom, and
Right.
you want people to come. If somebody comes, you grab them, you show them, you greet them, and that's where you convert them into getting a quote, into doing business with you. That is the job of your website, and that is the biggest missed opportunity in this particular industry, I find, because people don't realize how important it is. It is foundational. I cannot say that enough. You know, when you are planning your marketing, there are 3 areas that you have to address. And I came up with this framework because as marketing started getting complicated, I kind of had to put it in some kind of organized fashion. And this is what I came up with. So there are 3 aspects of marketing. There are 3 areas you have to cover. Number 1 is your brand, building your brand. And that's where your reputation, building your positioning, your website comes in. Then there is a reach portion. You have to have a way of reaching to new audiences so that more people know about you today than they did yesterday. That is also very important so you can grow your business. And then you have to maximize your clients, meaning clients in this business tend to be repeat clients. They have a budget that they use every year to replenish whatever they purchase, to purchase again, to invest in merchandise and branded garments and all that. So you have to make sure that they call you. You don't want them to forget about you. You don't want to look just exactly the same as somebody else, so they really call somebody else because they thought that you were this other guy they're calling now, which happens. I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
So you have to, that's where branding comes in. So, and also nurturing your clients, not just waiting for them to place an order. That's the next time you're going to talk to them. You have to be in front of them until they come to buy again, until they're ready to place another order. So those are the 3 aspects: branding, reaching, and maximizing. Those are the 3 things. Now, everybody does a little bit in each aspect, and that, of course, gets broken down into different things, more elaborate, and they're not independent of one another. But you have to kind of have the clarity of what it is that you're trying to do. And if you're only doing online and you're only doing social media, which a lot of people think it's all about just posting and connecting and liking things, which is important, all those things are important, but you also have to use it in ways that will help you reach more people, a bigger audience, and use advertising to reach more people, because you have to always be growing your clients, your book of clients.
yeah. Well, speaking of that, then, right? I'm sure you've seen it and been around it, the kind of friction between sales and marketing. And I think sometimes even as a solopreneur, there's some friction internally for me, right? It's like I'm doing all this marketing, quote unquote, but I need more leads, and I need more. And like you were talking about growing, right? So, well, let's talk to us a little bit more about lead generation. How do you see that process in what you do?
Okay, I am glad you asked that, because that is, as you said, the meat and potatoes of marketing and business, right?
Yeah.
Now, lead generation is all about, it's a process. It's not a one-time shot. You know, I sometimes have people call me, what's working right now? No, it doesn't work like that. You have to be aware, number 1, of the buyer's journey. What process do they follow? Because you have a list of perfectly qualified people that they even like you. But only, as I mentioned before, only 10% of them are ready to buy right now, or maybe even less, are ready to place an order right now. The rest are not placing any orders. They don't have any events. Maybe they have another vendor, XYZ number of things. So what are you going to do? Contact them once and never again because they weren't ready to buy? That's what most people do, actually. So that you can't do that. You have to, the way to make it work is to have a process, to create some sort of a funnel. And also that begins when people, to me, the best way to generate leads is to have a good, solid SEO plan that is going to attract the businesses that you want to do business with, that is going to attract the type of clients that are searching. Those are, like, to me, are the low-hanging fruit.
Okay.
Because they are ready, they're ready to spend money. They're ready to become your clients. So that it's really, that's where you should focus on. Now, of course, that takes time. So people don't see the connection between marketing and sales, but they don't realize that sales needs marketing. Why? Because marketing is all about creating content. There is nothing else but content when it comes to marketing. It's the messaging part that is going to speak to your target audience. So you want to have content that addresses their questions, their concerns, their interests, tips on the types of events that they use the products for, different things that they participate in that you can have a point of view and help them in some way. And that's how you create a connection. That's how they are interested in your content. Now, you use that content. If you're in sales, then you have to nurture your clients. You have to follow up. And you can use that content to follow up, to say, here's an article about the top trends in decoration for 2022. You can bet that they're going to like that they're going to open it. Maybe not 100% will open it, but you're going to have enough people interested, and they're going to see you. They're going to, even if they don't open it, they're going to see that you are really relevant to their business. And that's how marketing helps sales, because now you have your marketing materials. Now you have enough things to show your expertise and to keep in front of them. That's how marketing helps sales. So they're not disconnected.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's perfect. Good.
You know, Gloria, you just mentioned SEO, and a lot of people look at that as some kind of magic. Can you give us a simple rundown of what SEO entails, and a little bit about what makes sites search friendly?
SEO is all about showing up when somebody's searching for your type of company. Your ideal client is searching. SEO helps your site be the one that shows up. So to do that, to match those two things, you have to know your target audience very well. That is the number one thing that everybody hates. Everybody hates when I tell them, you need, we have to do a deep dive into your market, your target audience. Because it's, oh no, not the target audience again. But yes, you need to know your target audience well, and you can research what are they typing online. That would be a shortcut, if we can call it that way. You want to know what they're typing so that you have those content with that, answering those questions. Now, of course, there are millions of websites, and just because you created a great piece of content today is not going to show up tomorrow. Google is going to take a while to kind of recognize your content. And there are a number of factors that Google values to show a website. One of them is the relevancy. That is the number one. Google is all about showing the right things to people because they make money in that way. They make money selling ads. So they have incredible data as to the interest of people, the intent. One of the things that it's now a new thing that you can measure is, what was the intent of the person searching? Were they just looking for information? Were they looking to buy? And that is incredible information that you can have at your disposal to perfect your marketing, to improve your marketing. But it's 100% all about content. Now, your website has to have a good flow to convert whoever is coming to your website, so that they don't just leave and never come back again. Because people have very short attention spans. And if your website is generic and it doesn't answer their questions, and they just lose interest. And that's why it's important to match those. And those are all pieces. Now, SEO is a long-term game. It's not something that you're going to get instant results. And as the time passes, it takes longer. It didn't used to take that long when I first started. It was fast. And it depends on also what your keywords are and what your target audience is, your business. But in this business, imagine how many promotional product distributors and screen printing companies there are, right?
Yep.
And they all have a website. Now, most don't have a good optimized website, and they don't have a content plan that is focused on content with an SEO behind it. So they don't really show up, but they do interfere. They may already be there before you if you're just starting now to pay attention to that. So then sooner you start working on it, the better, because again, this is a long-term type of game. You can speed it up a little using advertising to start driving results. It's one of the things that we do to help clients speed up results. Or you can just be there for the long shot and continue to post and continue to monitor your results. And eventually you will get leads through the online space.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Terry, you said SEO. Some people think it's some kind of magic. I think some people think that it's this monster too. But
Yes.
but I think you're exactly right. If you look at it as that longer term, then I love that you go back to ideal customer, because I can't tell you how many people over the course of my career, when I've asked who your ideal customer is, that anybody that has money in their wallet is their ideal
Right.
customer.
Yes. Seriously?
Yeah. So yeah, how do you narrow that down? But no, we won't go there. So Gloria, I want to talk a little bit more about marketing here, and the fact that you at the start mentioned how you were involved in direct marketing, which isn't really a thing anymore, right?
Yep.
Unfortunately. But maybe kind of help us understand a little bit more about the kind of different types of marketing, how they can be used to drive traffic and do the things that you've been talking about here. Terms like inbound and outbound marketing come up. So if you could help explain those for us.
Okay, so marketing is centered around content. As Seth Godin put it, marketing content is all the marketing there is. And I believe that. I agree with that. Because content is your tool to communicate your message with your audience. The better you do that, the better your client and your ideal client is going to connect and relate to your content and to your company and see you as an expert. So the number one thing that you have to plan to do after you've analyzed and created a whole profile of your ideal client, you have to have a content plan and come up with topics that you're going to address, because you don't want to have general content. I see some people having a service post automatically some generic content that also goes in another 10,000 websites. That is not content marketing. That is just fillers that you have on your website. So the different thing. So you want to have a content plan, and your content plan has different ways of being published, which is the different marketing ways that you can do it. Social media is a big one, as you all know, and most of you use. We connected through social media. So social media is an important one. And it's LinkedIn, to be more specific, is a perfect place to find your exact target audience and connect to them. And you're allowed to do that because it's a business platform. So if you're smart about that and you have a good plan that is different, it doesn't have to be an awesome plan, just different, then you'll stand out and you will make that connection. So you use different tools. Outbound is when you come out and reach out to people, to your potential client, and it takes a long time. It's effective. It is effective. You start calling people every day, you are going to come back at the end of the day with some interesting quotes. But it takes a lot of time. It's extremely energy consuming. And then what happens if you only rely on that is that You get a bunch of new clients, you get busy producing all those orders, and you stop networking. So when that runs out and you're fulfilled those, your pipeline is empty. You have to start all over again. So that's why you need marketing, to be found and be generating and driving in. So I think in this business, because it's business to business, you do want to have a part that is the outbound, reaching out, but you also want to be driving in. So that's kind of the difference. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Gloria, we're kind of coming down to the end of our conversation with you. So, if you only had a few minutes to tell someone what you and your business does, what would you tell them? And let me add to that. What's the first thing they should know about how to drive traffic?
The first thing they should know about how to drive traffic is understanding their buyer, what they're looking for, what their interests are. And I'm coming back to the same thing, I know, but that is it. And then creating content that speaks to them and doing it in a regular basis so that it's on your website. It has to be on your website in the right way so that it gets found online. So that would be a way of starting to generate traffic. And you can help yourself by also using advertisement. When you do a blog post, you put it on social media, you promote it for a few days, and then more people see it that were not within your network. That's
Very
just
good.
a very basic way.
Well, that's what we're looking for, that elevator pitch.
Yeah, well, what my business does is I believe that small businesses in the B2B space, screen printing, promotional products, can compete with the big players with digital marketing. Because it's available for them. They only need a piece of the market. And I do believe that. I've seen it work. And I really hope that people are open-minded and they start looking at things differently and think differently, because with this situation that we have, this transformation and all these changes going on in our economy, you have to focus on building your brand. You can't just think that things are going to go back to the way they were before COVID. I don't see that happening. And I'm not saying that that's bad or good. It's just changes happen. You have to evolve. Your brand has to evolve. Your business has to evolve. And you have to focus on yourself and building your brand. That's very important.
Yeah. Wow. That is some incredible information. So, Gloria, I want to understand a little bit more about action marketing here too. So let's say you're engaging with a new client, new customer. What's the process? How does that go? What are you working with them on?
Yes. The way that we do it, we just reviewed all and revised all of the way we're offering it, because every business is different, every distributor is different, even though they're similar, they're different.
Yeah,
they sell the same products, but they're all different, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And so what we do initially, we have a conversation to see if we're a good fit, if the person is really, because not everybody is ready to invest in their business in this way, and some people are looking for an immediate result, and we don't offer that, like the magic button thing that when I find it, I'll let you know.
Okay, yes, please. We want to be the first to know. Breaking news
You
on
will
this
be
show.
the first to know when I find that magic SEO button.
Yes.
So once we have that conversation and we explain how we do things and our pricing structure and our process, if the person wants to go to the next step is what we call a game plan, where we do an evaluation of their business, their current situation, where they are, where they want to go. And we kind of run them through our framework, our marketing framework, to see what they have in place, what they need. And then we discuss with them what the plan would be, set priorities on those gaps that we see and where we have to start, and kind of have a path and a marketing plan for them. So that's the first engagement that we have with them. Then if they want to continue, that fee gets applied to the next work. But it depends on what they need. Some people do have a website and need some people just need, like, we had a client that had very high traffic. They were having, 6,000 or 7,000 visitors per month.
Wow.
But something like a 90% bounce rate.
Oh, wow.
So when we spoke and we did this process, he had a website, so they didn't need a website, but they needed to improve that ratio, and we were able to lower it to like 50%. And but I told him, your traffic is going to go down, but you are going to have more sales. So
Hey, sounds good to me.
he had the wrong targets there. So that would be a case. And then somebody else may need an entire website because they've been in business for 20 years and they have a cookie cutter website where they don't even have their photo on it. And no, it is like so generic that doesn't represent all their knowledge and expertise at all.
Yeah.
So that client would need an entire website, an entire branding package. So it goes, we kind of take the whole process from from not having a brand to going online and having a presence and having a marketing plan that it's oriented to gain traffic to your website and visibility and awareness.
That's awesome. Wow. That sounds amazing. Well, then follow up to that. How do people get in touch with you? How can listeners find you, connect with you?
Well, I'm on LinkedIn, Gloria Lafont. And you could also reach us through our website, actionmarketingco.com. And we are on Instagram, all the social media, traditional ones now, because I'm not on TikTok. I don't plan to be in the near future either. I'm watching. But you can find us in all the social media outlets. We're active on all of them. So I'd love to connect. I'd love to get anybody's questions, and if I can help in any way. We have a lot of webinars on our website about digital marketing. They're totally free. And we cover, including prospecting. We have one on prospecting, and you're welcome to go to the website and just watch, do a binge watching this weekend.
There you go. That's awesome. Okay. So this is probably a little bit like trying to pick your favorite child, but of those webinars, which one's your favorite? If I had limited time and I was going to go there.
Well, my favorite one is your SEO and digital marketing, but people tend to go to the prospecting one more.
All right. Well, there you go. So you can get the prospecting one next, but go to the SEO one first. I love it. All right, Gloria. Terry, did you have any other things that you wanted to ask Gloria? I know
I think I've written all the notes that I can on my junior legal pad here. So
that's awesome.
Great information, Gloria. It's so nice having you on the show today, and we will certainly love to have you back.
Now, I want to say two things before we go. I want to give credit for that art of differentiation definition of branding to David Breyer. I follow David Breyer, recommend that to everybody. And that just resonated with me. And I said, well, I am just taking this, giving him credit. And the other person that I couldn't remember the name, because as you can see, as age comes, you forget things. Your mind is full. Dan Kennedy.
Dan Kennedy.
Dan Kennedy. I have all his books, and that's where I learned all about direct marketing. I highly recommend it. So
yeah. Oh, that's awesome. There you go. Wow. Well, extra gold at the end there, folks. So there you go. Make sure that you guys are reaching out to Gloria there at actionmarketingco.com. And I think I got that right on there. Yep. Okay, perfect. All right, Gloria. Well, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you being here. And like Terry said, we'll hopefully stay in touch and have you back at a later date too.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
Have a lot of fun. Thank you.
All right. Have a great day.
All right. Bye.
Excellent. Terry.
That was, my gosh.
Good stuff, wasn't it?
Great stuff. Like I said, I was just writing away here.
Your junior, how many pages you flip on that junior yellow legal pad?
A couple pages.
That's good. Awesome. All right. Well, Terry, let's wrap this up here today. Actually, I threw together a 5 things because I felt like there was so much gold there that I wanted to kind of recap some of the things that I didn't write it down on my junior Lego pad. I typed it into the 5 things. So how's that sound? All right. So are we ready for 5 things, Terry?
I think we're ready. Are you ready to push the button for the intro?
I'm doing my best here. So here we go. All right, Terry. So here are 5 marketing points that I just got from Gloria, and I'm going to throw myself up there as a solo layout here. All right. So number 1, branding is about clarifying what makes you different. I love that. And she just mentioned that at the end again. Number 2, marketing is content, period. I put that in big, bold, yelling letters there. Number 3, clarifying your ideal client is the number 1 thing. And I'm so grateful that she said that. I say that all the time too. So it's good to get smart people to agree with you. Number 4, create content that speaks to your ideal client. I think a lot of people are creating content, and does it speak to your ideal client? I think that's the question you need to ask yourself. And then number 5, your website is the equivalent of your showroom. And I added on there, be proud of it. Make sure that it's something that you can be proud of. Gloria talked about generic and that kind of thing, and how you could improve by making some things there. So there is my 5 things. What do you think about that?
I love them, and I was jotting all those down as Gloria was sharing as well. And when I was mentioning that about some people think it's all about the social media, it's surprising how many people say that to me about, oh, it's not the website. Nobody goes to websites anymore. And I thought that's not right. That's not correct. You've been sucked in by some bad information, possibly on the internet.
Possibly on the internet. Yes. Skynet is not going to give you
all hell Skynet.
Yes, exactly. We get kicked off the program here, Terry. All right. Well, let's you know what? Why don't we start with this? I'll start with, since Eric can't be here, we'll let him be the kickoff here, just so we can keep everybody up to speed on what Eric's got going on here. So Eric is going to be off for the take up today, since he's unavailable for this. He's going to not be able to do the take up today. I told him I would do it for him, but then I told him that what my embroidery knowledge was, and so then I was asked not to do that.
I don't think you'd be able to go a couple of hours like
I definitely could not, especially with any thing of value for anybody that would tune in.
But you are a trained professional in embroidery, so
I have 15 minutes of experience. So. All right. Well, so he's off for this week, but you can go check out previous episodes and go to his website, ericcampbell.com, and I'll see if I can get that banner up here while I talk. But previous episodes are available, so go back and check them out. Tons of great information. And then tune in next week and make sure that he'll be back to regular scheduled programming next week. So again, head over to ericcampbell.com. Somewhere in here there must be a banner, but I just saw it. Okay, there it is. I'm putting it up. Okay, ericcampbell.com. Go check that out and tune in for him next week. You can also look for Eric's extended session of making small run patches, and that'll be coming up at the Impressions Expo in Fort Worth, Texas. So if you head over to impressionsexpo.com and don't see that quickly, but impressionsexpo.com, you head over there and you can check out Eric's session over there. You can also check out Images Magazine. It's a brand that comes from the UK. Their July issue has Eric's latest article called Mixed Media Made Simple. And if you'll go to images-magazine.com, you can find that, and we will put some links into the show notes for that as well. So that's what Eric's got happening right now. What about you, Terry? What's happening for you?
Well, I have coming up next week, everything you hear about DTG printing on the internet is wrong. That's going to be July 21st at 11 o'clock. I'm going to be doing that free presentation at Graphics Pro Expo in the Meadowlands, New Jersey. The following week, DTG and DTF Summer Camp that you mentioned at the top of the show, Aaron, that's going to be July 28th at Equipment Zone in Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, right outside of New York City. And you can sign up for that at equipmentzone.com. We are limiting it to 18 people, so it's more than half full right now. My next complete screen printing business course in Chicago with Atlas Screen Supply will be August 27th and 28th. That same class, just starting in doing that class at Equipment Zone in New Jersey, New York City area. That's going to be September 10th and 11th. And then back to Phoenix at Workhorse Products on September 17th and 18th. At the Fort Worth Impressions Expo, I'm reading off my other screen here, how to make a living as a full-time garment decorator, and also training and motivating the best production staff in town. And all of my upcoming events are on my website at terrycombs.com. How about you, Aaron?
I'm just looking for banners, and Eric's got a lot of them in here, but terrycombs.com. Perfect. Yeah, all I'm doing is looking for banners. Okay, so for me, Terry, we've talked about it lots in the previous episodes. You guys talked about it for me too. Growing Your Business Effortlessly workshop is happening today at 1:00. There are still a few seats left, and I can't even find the banner for this, but if you go to oursuccessgroup.com/grow, I thought I saw it in here earlier, but I'm not. So I'm not even going to bother. Oursuccessgroup.com/grow. You can still get in on that. It's happening at 1:00 center of the universe time, central time for everybody else. So love to have you join us. When I talk about grow your business effortlessly, the reason for that title is this is the art of working on your business. This is the dirty word of business planning, right? Some people think that's a dirty word. I think this is the coolest thing you can do for your business because it's going to get you more clarity. It's going to get you more confidence. It's going to save you time and money because you can do anything in the planning phase, right? And when you have a plan, then you're able to be more efficient. And so that's really what we're talking about today, just the simple art of working on your business. It's effortless because it takes no real skill. If you are able to have a thought, you can do this. There's no wrong answers. So I'm really excited about this, Terry. It's going to be happening today again. As I said, oursuccessgroup.com/grow. And then a little further out, September 11th, I will be participating in an international online small business skills summit as a speaker. The Small Business Skills Summit is going to be that's a hard thing to say. The Small Business Skills Summit is going to be bringing you 30 experts over 30 days. And if you'll go to osg.link/skills summit, you can check it out. My session is going to be called Conquering Fear and Thrive. So I'm really excited to present that presentation over there for those guys. And you can, again, check that out at osg.link/skills summit. And over those 30 days, there's going to be incredible speakers. So I've also signed up to listen to everybody else. So I think it's worth checking out. And then just a few days later, I will be off to Charlotte, North Carolina on September 15th. And the Graphics Pro Expo is going to be hosting the Start Here Academy. And I get to be the MC and get to highlight 3 amazing makers and influencers. We've had 2 of them here on the show and efforted to get the 3rd. So really excited to kind of have an opportunity to kind of present them in person. I'm going to share a little bit there too. And just going to be a really fun evening, kind of almost like a night class, but networking, and you'll get to see lots of cool stuff. And so kind of a great kickoff for the Graphics Pro Expo in Charlotte. So make sure that you sign up for that. You come in that day early, but then stay and go to the show the next day. I'll be hanging out in the Graphics Pro booth after that and just chatting with people and interviewing people and, getting content for 2 regular guys here and just having a great time over there in Charlotte. So I'm really looking forward to that. That one, you can go to osg.link/SHA for Start Here Academy. And then September is a jam-packed month. Sublimation Summit. I'll be out there in Peachtree City, September 23rd. And then boogieing over from there directly over to Myrtle Beach, North Carolina, the next day, September 24th, for the Everything Embroidery Market. And then a couple of weeks rest for the wicked there, but then back to Printing United. I'm back traveling out again, Las Vegas, Nevada, October 19th through the 21st. Terry, I had a conversation this Wednesday with the folks over at Printing United. In fact, I owe you an update. Very cool stuff happening. And we are going to be right in the middle, right in the mix of it. Not only will we have a booth there that we'll be just kind of capturing and chatting and hanging out like it's a lobby bar in our own booth, but there's gonna also be a podcast booth in the apparel decorating zone that we will be kind of working out of as well. So you're going to have to clone. We're going to have to clone ourselves. But no, there'll be lots of other people coming through that podcast booth as well. But we get to have first dibs, I hear. So
I remember when they were talking about wanting to do that months and months and months ago. So I'm thrilled that they pulled that off.
Yeah. And they're still solidifying all of the sponsors and support and all that kind of fun stuff. But boy, it looks like it's going to be incredible. So, in fact, we're going to have Josh on, give him some time to kind of get these things settled in, but in the not too distant future, Josh will be on kind of, we obviously want to highlight that, but I think he's going to bring some great information about looking at the broader picture of what our industry is and that convergence and what the expo means and all that other stuff. So, look for that coming soon. I think September 9th is the date that if I recall, but again, I'll get you that recap, Terry, and then we'll get that recap for everybody here as well. So, Perfect. All right, that's everything. I think we've done it. Are we good?
I think we're good.
Anything we missed besides the banners?
and only 2 minutes over. So
yeah, there we go. All right. Well, Terry, we have come to the close of another show. Thanks so much to Gloria Lafont and all of the amazing information that she gave us. Make sure you head over to actionmarketingco.com and check out those webinars and connect with her and use her services. Sounds like that she can really change the way your business markets, and would really love to hear those reviews after you have a chance to work with Gloria. So check
Absolutely.
her out.
I'm inspired.
Definitely.
Well, Eric's not with us today, but we want to thank Eric for all he does, and he was instrumental in getting ready for this show today, even though he couldn't be with us. So thanks, Eric, for all you do out there in the background.
Yeah, definitely, and he helped get us some great questions and just helps all the way around. So, Terry, I know next week you will be tied up at the Graphics Pro Expo in Meadowlands, New Jersey. Maybe if you have a moment, you could stick the camera up to your face and give us a little review, maybe on the Facebook page or something. But you're going to be busy over there, so I'm going to be hosting our quarterly Women in Garment Decorating episode, and we've got a couple great guests lined up. I already mentioned Brandy, and we're going to have another guest joining us, and so stay tuned for more information on that. We'll be getting that out here first part of next week. So tune in and join me next week and help me ask questions of those amazing women that we're going to have joining us.
Awesome. Until then, I'm Terry Combs. He's Aaron Montgomery.
And we are the Two Regular Guys. Where is the right thing? There it is.
Here we go. We're out.
Awesome.
Thank you for listening to Two Regular Guys. Check out our website at tworegularguys.com. That's the number 2, regularguys.com. You can also interact with us over at our Facebook page, facebook.com/tworegularguys, or send us a tweet, twitter.com/tworegularguys. And we have a YouTube page. You can find all that from our website, tworegularguys.com. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to spending some time with you again next week.